A reflection board is a useful tool to use when reflecting at the end of a day, a week, a month, a quarter, a year, or whenever. It could be the end of a sprint, a project, whenever. You can use this tool as an individual, or you can use this tool with your team for team reflection. You may use this tool at the end of a sprint, a project, a presentation, a workshop, any time that you need to review. It could be when you're doing quarterly reviews with your team or on your projects. So when you're reflecting, there are going to be those things that you want to continue doing because they worked well. You know, those things that you were really happy with and you want to continue doing. It's important to identify these and to plot these so they're top of mind. So in this particular quadrant, you want to identify what it is that you want to continue. In the next quadrant, you want to identify things that you want to discontinue. You know, those things that didn't work very well, those things that you thought were relevant, but they weren't. These are the things that you want to stop doing because they're not helpful with you moving forward. They're things that may have worked for you in the past, but aren't currently working for you now. So you want to discontinue doing these things. So the next quadrant, the third quadrant, is what to change. And in this quadrant, you want to reflect on, you know, those things that you did, but you could improve upon. They're the things that you, with more information and more learning, you went, well, if we do it this way, we might move faster or happier through the process. So they're the things that you want to change and do differently next time. You just want to keep doing them, but in a different way. And these are those things that you want to change. So you want to identify these in the third quadrant. In the fourth quadrant is really your creativity quadrant, or your create or what to try. So you want to identify new things that you want to try next time. Maybe you've come across a new tool or a new platform that you'd like to give a go. It could be a new technique, or it could be something from our toolbox. Something that you haven't tried out before, but you think might help you moving forward, whether that be on your next project, on your next ideation, on your next innovation management process, whether it be in your next pivot, whatever the case may be. It's just something that you want to try moving forward because I think it might help you move faster and happier through the process and potentially improve your success. So this is an example of our reflection board. As you can see, it has the 4 quadrants with continue, discontinue, change, and create. The activity can be completed either individually or with your team, depending on whether you're doing it as an individual activity or as a team activity. If you're doing it as a team activity, it can be completed synchronously, which means all together, or asynchronously, which means together but at different times. So when it's completed asynchronously, so this typically would happen if you're across multiple time zones or across multiple locations, or it's really difficult to get a time for everybody to get together at the same time, and it could be you're on multiple projects. So you might allocate a time limit to when this can happen. So typically it might be something like 15 hours or 24 hours or something like that. If you're doing it synchronously, which means all together, I would suggest that you allocate roughly about 10 minutes or so per box. It could even go up to 15 minutes, but 10 is sufficient. because I have found over the years that this activity works best when it's completed in about a 30-minute time box. It helps the team knowing that we're completing this activity in a 30-minute time blocks, because then they can really just push out their ideas and really focus and concentrate, and you can just smash it and you don't get people wandering and etc. I've also found utilising this activity helps with trust building within the team and enhancing relationships, because it evokes respectfulness and kindness between members. Because this tool is about, if you're going to mention a person in one of the quadrants, we recommend not naming that person. Instead, we recommend naming the role that that person undertook, because what we want to do is depersonalize reflection. We want it to be about the activities. We want it to be about whether we're going to be continuing or discontinuing activities, or whether we're going to be changing or creating activities. So we want it to be about actions, not necessarily about people and personalities and sets of circumstances that can make people not move as fast as we would like at times. So be really mindful to help people contribute in such a way that it puts money in your team's trust bank.